Especially for you, I translated my video with my lovely AI-generated voice.
There's news from Russian Fishing 4, small changes in the game, and the patch notes about it we're going to take a detailed look at right now. So, there's a bit of news in Russian Fishing 4, and we're going to look at that first. If we look here at the patch notes, we see that some fish have been reworked. And the first fish I actually still have in my keep net from last night. Take a look at this. The Burbot was also reworked, but also the Arctic Char, the Atlantic Salmon, the Blue Bream, and also the Ide. I'm very curious how these fish look now. Here we have the Ide, and this really reminds me of the current design of the asp. So once again, a bit finer in the details. The scale pattern once again really nicely detailed. So noticeably more complex, noticeably nicer textures again with this fish too. The coloring on the fins is also sensational. Looks really, really nice. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also curious what the small one looks like. This here is of course now the trophy model, or rather the large fully grown version, but this already looks really good too. And this is also an absolute knockout. The Arctic Char. Man, really, really nice. Take a look at this. Wow. Wow. And once more, wow. Really, really cool design. Sensational Arctic Char on a completely different level altogether. Really, really nice. I like it a whole lot. I hope that now, step by step, all the other fish get updated too. Russian Fishing 4 in 2026 is simply a different game. So much has changed in recent years, and I hope that the entire game gets updated a bit, especially the older waters too. This here is of course a completely different style, really nicely done. So really sharp visuals here with the Arctic Char too. And now of course let's also take a look at the Burbot. And this here is the look of the Burbot. Also really, really nice. Noticeably more detailed, much better in terms of the pattern. A really nice pattern here in the scales as well. So sensational, a completely different level than the previous Burbot. Yes, and as I just said, I actually also have an oversized Burbot in the net, and that looks really nice too. So really nicely striped here, incredible. So here too, the Burbot has been really nicely reworked. Both the small and the large version look really, really good. Then we have, once at the very top and once at the very bottom, the Blue Bream. That's also been really nicely reworked. With the Blue Bream, I always liked how the large dorsal fin had such a nice shine to it, and that's actually been kept. So we still have exactly this look here, nicely detailed. The scale pattern here too, much more refined again. Just the light reflections alone on this fish, so that really makes a huge difference. Looks very, very, very nice. So the Blue Bream is really sexy here too. Yes, and then really the only one left is the Atlantic Salmon. Let's take a look at that one too. Here the preview image actually hasn't been reworked yet. That will surely change in the coming days too, but this already looks really, really sexy as well. Just up on the head, this slightly bluish shimmer here. Incredible. So this too is a really sharp look now with the Atlantic Salmon. Next level with all the fish models. I hope this gets reworked step by step, including the older models too. So this really makes you excited when the fish now come with such high quality modeling. This is the current state of Russian Fishing 4. This is how the game should look, completely sensational. Really well done. More of these new fish models, please. Now I need to go catch a fish real quick because there's another note here in the patch notes. Hotkeys for the caught fish screen. Now let's take a quick look. What do we have here? Ah, okay. What's this actually useful for that I can now turn the hotkey, the space bar, on and off? Okay, so this is actually the difference. There's now the option that I don't have to press the space bar anymore. Well, maybe some people ran into this every now and then. I've heard of anglers who, out of sheer joy over a world trophy, threw their mouse aside and it flew onto the keyboard, and bang, the fish got released via the keyboard. Catastrophe. Has that ever happened to anyone? Yes, okay. Now, of course, we also have the option to put the fish in the keep net or release it, and that's done here via this setting. Hotkey for the caught fish screen. So that's that. I'll definitely leave that turned on and keep it as is. And it's also set by default the way it was before. When automatically filling crafting recipes from the keep net, the smallest fish is used first. This means in turn that if we want to make bait fish here, then automatically the smallest bait fish will be used, not the largest ones, so that we automatically process the smallest ones first, as I said. And then we can still decide toward the end whether to maybe just stop and sell the higher quality ones instead. If it now also gets added that bait fish which are also durable land on the hook first, when a durable one has been used, then we've already reached the next level here. Adjustments have been made at the following waters, additional adjustments to the game world to increase the realism of the gameplay. I'd guess that something is swimming around or flying around there, just for the feel of it, because the Winding Rivulet was already reworked recently. We have here at the Winding Rivulet, so to speak, some of the highest quality visuals, light reflection on the water's surface. Right now, in the dark, you can barely see it, of course, but I think something has changed here. Maybe you've already noticed something. Feel free to write it in the comments below. Then I'll look into it too. So, both here at the Winding Rivulet, as well as at the Sura River, and at the bay, and at the Copper Lake, and at the Norwegian Sea. So at all these waters, something is supposed to have changed to make the whole thing look a bit more realistic. Maybe it's actually the clouds here at the Norwegian Sea that look a bit different. The sky maybe looks a little different, and accordingly, the light reflection on the water's surface too. I really need to take a closer look at this later. Right now, in this half darkness, I can't make anything out yet. I'm definitely very curious to see how the whole thing looks a bit more realistic. Spin fishing has been adjusted to improve its effectiveness. That's of course the big question first. Is there anything new? No, there's nothing about that in the news. That means we'll definitely go a bit more actively into spin fishing again in the next live stream. Maybe now we have the chance, for example at the Yama River too, to catch trophies noticeably more effectively. I'll definitely get right on that and keep experimenting. Maybe, as I said, we now simply have a somewhat higher chance of catching more trophy fish here too. That's already very difficult at the Yama. Then two more things were also fixed. Two small bugs. When swapping a real mechanism for a mechanism with a different gear ratio, the parameters of the new gear ratio were only applied after restarting the game. So that's been fixed. That means if you now rebuild your reel with a different gear ratio, it takes effect immediately. And what was also fixed, in some cases, it wasn't possible to pick up a rod from a rod holder on the boat. That's also been fixed, apparently. Yes. And then, of course, one more really important piece of information. The game world has been reset for all waters. That means, in turn, test, like always. Test new things, test old things, test ancient things. So it's entirely possible that a spot or video that's 3 years old might now, currently, work really well again. So there's no such thing as old in Russian Fishing 4. The entire game is constantly in motion, constantly rotating. That means get back out to the waters, test new spots, or test old spots with new bait. The fish have new preferences and might be hanging out at different spots now. And for everyone who's watched this video all the way to the end, there's something else new in the game. And I'm curious whether you've already found it. So much for the patch news. See you in the next video. Until then, tight lines.